Welcome to this series where we are playing the 1.8 version of Reforged Eden. And in the last part, we left the swamp planet that we started on, mainly because it's got a lack of resources. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little while. And we came to this system here, Beta 4, which is actually, if I can get the info panel up, Beta 4, come in here, which is a dead planet. Now, a dead planet doesn't look that inspiring, but in this game, if you've got a dead start, that means that you have these planets that have got quite a lot of loot on them. And of course, one of the nice things about these is the fact that if we look at the planet itself, there's no mining. And what I want to do in this part is start wandering around, seeing if I can find a few things. More importantly, what I'd like to find is the incomplete shuttle. But we've also got something down there as a heat signature. And in the last part, we found this falling station. And I've got no idea what this is. And what I did off camera is I came here and there's an abandoned biolab here, which I looted down. There's some loot in there, but nothing particularly special. So what we do is just jump in, fire up the thrusters, and we're just going to move on. Of course, it's, as usual, it's in the dark. Now, one thing you've got to be aware of on this planet, when you're exploring this planet, is you get lots of little random buildings like this, which may or may not have loot in, but they don't all necessarily have show up on the scanner. So this is something else that you need to do. I'm not exactly sure what he's firing at. Go and see what that is. What is this? What were you firing at? Something in B2. You're actually firing at the base. It's a bit curious because what I might need to do is go in here and actually turn off the base attacks. I don't really want you shooting at bases. Get rid of that. Oh, better turn the thrusters off, save a bit of fuel. Because the one, and while we're actually walking out and taking a look, I oops, don't want to go that way. I want to go out this, the other door. Oh, there it is. Yeah, while we're actually walking about, I just want to talk about a comment. Somebody posted a comment about not finding thrusters and resources on the gate in the game on the planet they started at. And this is one of the things about Empyrion, is that while you can wander around, oh, this is just an ordinary base. It says here system check, so cannot access up, belongs to another faction. I think we can, yeah, we got a clone chamber. This is a base that we can take over if I can remember the way into the door. No, we can't get in here. There's a core in here. Is that although some of the planets are preset, especially the starter planets, so they've got certain, say, abilities and resources on them, but once you get beyond the basic setups, like where, you know, the Titan and all that, everything else is random. The drops that you do, everything is a pumpkin cookie, just get a bit of food in us. Cannot access there. There's definitely a core in here somewhere. We just got to find it. Yeah, so back to what I was saying is the contents, the loot boxes and everything else is purely random. So there's an element of luck in what you find. Also, it also applies to the general resources as well. So that actually shapes the way that you play. I'm kind of thinking, oh, we've been there, I think. There is a way in to where the core is. It's just a question of, I think the core's up there. We've got to get into here. There's the core. I'm just going to blast the core. So that means that, say for example, if any of you are watching this series and you start on the swamp planet, everything I find doesn't necessarily mean that you will find the same resources, or even sometimes crash ships. It can vary. We've now opened up this area here, so we've now got into here, and generally there's not that much in here, but we do have a small generator. We've got a constructor, because of course if you start on the barren planet, this is the type of place you're looking for, and this is what you would take over as a starter base. What I'll do is I'll just the core. If the core will go on here, yeah, we can just pour in there and see what we can find. So what that means is, I will get to what I'm meant to be saying, guys. So what that actually means is that over time, oh look at that, wow. That as you're wandering around and finding resources on whatever system you start on, there is this element of luck, and that can shape your actual the way you play, simply because if you happen to find a lot of nice crash capital vessels, you can pick up and if you're lucky enough to find a nice collection of crash ships with thrusters, you can build your own CV. But if you strike out, and especially if you get some bad loot pickups where you don't find Neo and Sarcosium and things like that, then another option is that, well, the second option is that basically what you do is you build a small vessel and strap a warp drive on this, and you can see that this one just an SV warp drive only needs the basics: cobalt, plastic tubes, optical steel regulators. And then what you can do then is fly, like I've done, fly to another system, and until you find a system that's got plenty of resources on it. And so that's one option. Or the other option is that if you're looking around and you find a couple of good POIs to take down, is that what you do is you go into the workshop and find a capital vessel. And the way I tend to do it is I normally choose a big capital vessel with lots of resources on it, with Neo and stuff like that. And then when I loot down the bases, I try and retrieve stuff whole, and then I drop it into the workshop. Because if you drop something whole into the workshop rather than scrapping and putting the individual elements in, just return there again, what happens is that the workshop breaks down that item and then starts filling in these ingot requirements here. And the items that you're really looking for is repair bays, and of course repair bays often, if you're lucky, will crop up when in loot boxes. So if you can get a couple of these, especially a couple of tier 2 especially if you can get these advanced repair bays, these are certainly worth dropping into the workshop. Another one that is quite good, if I can find them, is blast doors. So if you find a POI with blast doors on, what you'll find there is you get quite a lot. You get flux coils. And now I know it sounds painful to put the flux coils in, but if you in the early game, you're not going to have a deconstructor. So if you drop those in there, those flux coils will then put in the necessary resources to convert into the warp drive and other things that you would want if you were building a small CV in the workshop, because that's what you're aiming for. So blast doors is another good one. Certainly a deconstructor. I mean, there's a bit of a contradiction here, that if you find a deconstructor and you've got a base, then maybe putting the deconstructor on the base would be quite useful. The alternative is that you do drop it down into the workshop. You can see that's got 10 flux cores in it, and also furnaces as well. You can see there's another 10 flux cores there. So what you can do is, over a period of time, get enough resources together so that you can, I'm just going to pick the core up. Actually, I don't think anything here that's particularly great. Oops, one thing I didn't do was get the fuel tanks. Okay, we'll just put that back in again very quickly. Nice thing about being using the core. So that is another way that you can actually get the resources you need. Let me just see. Well, we got a little bit of oxygen. 233. Well, take the oxygen. I can't. It's not enough. The only downside of this, 264. We can get some power cells out of it. Got 8 power cells. And then what we'll do is going to loop this down a little bit. So we'll go to the TV. Again, we'll put it in the junk box so we can see what we're getting in the way of loot. And again, if you're really short of general resources, one way you can do this is come to this barren planet. It's a little bit of a long shot, but it can work over time. I think that's about it. I don't think there's much else here. But as I say, if you start on the barren planet, finding one of these is quite good, actually. There's a grow pot. I would certainly want those grow plot lights. Retrieve those. Don't have a grow plots here, but those grow plot lights would be quite good. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to just have a quick scout round here and see what we can find. If we use the ship, it's just as easier. Just keeps us moving. Bit of oxygen. Just back on. That base is there. So we've got these small bits and pieces all over the planet. This is the nice thing about when you actually work on the barren planet. You get these little bits. Not sure if there's going to be anything in these, but take a quick look. Yeah, look at that. See, there's the core. Of course, we're going to need to make some ammunition. That 2,533 gives us another 80 odd bits and pieces. Just whack this up. Right, we've got some medium fuel tanks in here. Nice source of electronics. Of course, if you really want the steel plates, we'll pick up debris. Or debris. Oh, it should collapse. Why won't it collapse? Okay. And you can pick up the steel plates like that as well. Right, off we go again. Actually, I'd go as far as saying that if you're looking for a relatively easy start, the barren planet is actually unusually relatively easy. The only thing is it can what I will say is that the barren planet is a relatively easy start as long as you actually understand the principles of what you're trying to do. Yeah, we've got some. Look at that. Don't have that much space in the junk box, but you know what I mean. You can come in here. I mean, it's true. It's only basic resources. I don't know. Okay, we. Ow. And of course, all these loot boxes are a substitute for the fact that you can't mine anything on this planet. This planet itself's got no resources whatsoever, but it can give you a nice little bit of general resources. We need to find the core in here. No idea where it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, Again, we've got a nice pile of, let me just get rid of here, that 6982. Another nice pile of some large fuel tanks here. Again, we're just going to salvage them. Again, on this planet, there are all the resources, all that med kit. We'll just shove that in there as well. That up. Some laser pistol ammunition. Emergency oxygen. That'd be good. Another locker there. We'll take that. Well, I think that is about it. We've got some more fuel cells there. Don't think there's, I'm not seeing any oxygen or anything here. Nothing here. Take the shutters. Nope, nothing else here. Don't really want to spend too much time taking that stuff apart. So we're just gonna wander this way. Oh, we didn't check this one. This bit over here. Okay, let me just put down again. It's certainly worth checking all the little bits and pieces. Yeah, not access action. We'll look around and see. There's the core. Got a solar capacitor there. I'm not sure that this is going to be worth anything, but we'll look at it. Whoops. A little bit of junk in here. That one's not quite so good. I don't think this has got any fuel cells or anything in it. But of course, now I've broken the core, we can. Another good source of general stuff is like this here. And the panels, glass. Yep, there's nothing else much else here. Okay. The other thing you also want to do is just keep an eye out for copper and stuff on the around the planet. Oh wow! Did I blow myself up? Didn't notice that. Okay. Blew myself up probably because I was too close to the core. Right, there was a heat signature showing up. There it is there, 3.6 kilometers away. I just want to check out these little block things as well, just to see if there's anything of any value in there. Looks like the next building might be actually quite useful. I mean, if you want to save fuel, you can just use the SV to go round and stuff up as well. Go. See what's inside. Oops. There's some. Get ourselves trapped in here, so this that power coil, more power fuel. Can we destroy this? Okay. Now the problem's going to be getting out. What we got to do is wait for that's it. I mean, they're not completely mean. It's just that sometimes you can get yourself in a little bit of a situation which can get a bit out of control. And we'll just move over to here. This looks like it's a solar power plant. And we'll just go over here. Bit of a sort out. General storage. That we're getting quite a lot of ammunition controller, capital vessel, junk. That in, put that in, that in, that in. Just load all this stuff. Snip that in there. Storage. Yeah, we're doing great here. It's certainly worth a visit. Just put that in there. Fridge, put that in there. And put the spare ammo in there. And the small arms, put that in there. Keep the oxygen in here for just for the moment. Oops. And see what we can find here. This doesn't look quite so good. These are just solar capacitors. There's the core. Is it going to be worth taking this down? Yeah, let's just take it. Fun of it. I mean, there might be something hidden underground, but unlikely. Of course. We'll just drop the core on. Have a quick look. Devices. Solar panels. No. I mean, if you have a pressing need for some solar panels, this could be a good place to pick up some stuff. But I'm not really in the pressing need for that. I mean, you could get it for the resources. Again, if you pick up solar panels and capacitors. So just jump back into the ship. And we're here, thrust on. Where are we going now? I think I've probably done a little bit enough messing about with this. I think we're go and check out that heat source over there. Of course, if you start off on the barren planet, you basically do a lot of the exploration here using a motorbike. So it's something that takes a little while, but once you find the key building on here, it should be, look at that, see. Oh, nice crop of stuff down here we're going to check out. So have a look, see. Certainly got to fix these thrusters. This, wow. Right, we've got a crashed mid-ish. Yep, MIDI. If I remember correctly, we might better get a very useful piece of kit from here. Find it. It is still on here. Because, of course, one thing I will say, if any of you who watch old videos of Empyrion, be aware that I think the game does change over time. So what you may see with one may not necessarily be what you actually may not actually be there anymore. Especially when it comes to crash ships. The crash ships, that's what I'm after. Yeah, it's the gravity generator. Not sure. Yeah, this one's actually good enough. So if I can, and here we'll talk to the building supplies. And I certainly want that for the ship. It saves me the trouble of building one. More thruster, just make sure. How many small thrusters we got now? Those are SV thrusters. Where's all my... Where's the CV thrusters? Where's my small... what we call it, thrusters for the SV? CV, sorry. Okay. I thought I had some small thrusters. Anyway, we'll just take this one. Pick up. What was that for? Was that? Oh. Okay. Because I didn't... My fault. Right, what thrusters did we pick up? Whoops. Right, we've got the gravity generator. Am I missing something here? There's... Oh, those are the small thrusters. So, okay, yeah. And these are the medium thrusters. Sorry, brain was out to lunch. And we're just going to take a look at this. Right, we've got some more oxygen. 8,702. Put that straight into the storage. We've got 35 at the moment. Look at that. We just doubled our entire oxygen content. Brilliant. 3. We just got some more power cells from here. Anything else of value? We've got 30, an ammo box. So look at that. Some general ammunition in there, I think. Right, cargo box. This is where a little bit of luck comes into things. We got some cobalt, got some aluminium powder, and it's these which give you the capacity to make things like ammunition. So this is why you want to look at all these there. Look at that. See, we've got some sathium. And a power coil. More power coils. Well, that in there I can pick out. Look at that. Yep, pick up. Of course, because there's no promethium on the planet, these multi-tool charges are quite important, because that's what allows you to take things apart. Because if you start on the barren planet, one of the things that your initial target is be able to is to build a CV. If you start on this barren planet, you're certainly looking to leave with a CV, not an SV. It's got a little bit of sathium there. We've got some gold ore. That would make an EVA suit. Fridge. Some food here. Large fridge. We've got some burgers. We've got some ribs. Got a small ammo box. Okay, anything else here? Any more thrusters? Right, we've got a couple more thrusters. More thrusters. A couple of medium thrusters. Where are you? Okay. Oops. I'm gonna have to dig down for the medium thrusters by the look of it. Just there it is. We've got here. We've got an armor locker. Looks like it. So and you're. We're just going to retrieve you. Oh, we're still on building supplies. That's good. Take the armor locker. Got here an O2 station. I'm going to take another O2 station because, wow, look at that. We've got those O2 tanks there. Okay, let me just salvage through. So that we can be trapped unknown. Certainly going to take that. Wow, look at this. Well, take a couple of large O2 tanks and then split these for the energy regulators. Anything else work? think the sentry guns might have a use for them. Anything else in here? Let's just have a look. I don't think we need any more sentry guns. There's the fridges. Fridges. So you've got a food processor here. Got some. That's biological specimen. And we've got some water. That's okay. Got an O2 tank. Salvage that. Armor locker. Don't think this goes anywhere. I mean, there's probably stuff lower down. And of course, another advantage of this one is that if you're short of electronics, these antennas are things to go for. Because if you come up here, I think there's one more thruster. Go, isn't there? We need another medium thruster. Where are you? Medium thruster, don't hide from me. Okay, it looks like the other medium thruster's in the same hole as the last one. Yeah, we're certainly going to take you. This is looking good. I think we should be able to leave this planet with a... what do we call it? We should be able to leave this planet with all the resources we need to completely rebuild the CV. Certainly going to take salvage out you. And anything else? Quick look. Equipment. Got thrusters. There's a little shower. Right, there's some medical stuff in here as well. Certainly want that. It means I can equip the medical bay. I can find you. Where are you? Keep an eye on the oxygen. What happened there? Okay. It says show on hub. Oh, I haven't. Just you might have pressed. Sometimes if you lose what we call it, if you lose the tags, what happens is you pressed F6 instead of F5. I'm just going to get back in and top our oxygen up. Where is it? Biomedical chamber. Actually, what we could do is oxygen ship, capital vessel, general supplies. Just have a look at that. Now we got a full set of oxygen there. We'll put these in. Put that in. That gives us 100% on fuel. Pretty good. Right, we're going to go and find the medical detoxifications thing because I certainly want that. It looks like we're going to have to dig down for it. That's okay. Oh, the other thing we've got is grow plots. Oh, yes, yes. We are still connected to that. Yes, good. Right, we're certainly going to take the grow plots. Another, they are steel, aren't they? Yep. Take the grow plots. This will mean getting these grow plots will mean that we don't have to worry too much about. You can say we can put our own farm inside the CV as well. Certainly want that before we leave as well. Just, I mean, what I'm looking for is how many grow plots and would I need? It's 4 9s, 36 grow plots. We can get 36 grow plots, it'd be brilliant. That's the number I'm going to want for my ship. And if any of you wondering how I actually managed to know that that's how many grow plots I actually need, we got 65 there. It's down to the fact that my general farm layout when I'm building a ship is you always put in patterns of 9 simply because the grow lamps cover a square of 9. So what you do is you put them in patterns of 9s, and my preferred pattern is 4 squares of 9. So we'll just have to dig into it. We have to get rid of these windows. Salvage through the windows. You can see what we're doing. It's the first of the med bays. You've got some elevators in here as well. What else we got in here? See, we got some random bits and pieces. If you're prepared to dig this out, so do is just get rid of tab off, and then we're free. Another med station. That's another little bit of loot. We've got a tiny bit of health stuff. Let's just see if I can find the point of this thingy bob. There's another one in here as well, isn't there? We got a medical surgical table. Where are you? It says that you're 3-odd meters in that direction. There it is. Right. You certainly want you to add to my collection. On the salvage, I want to retrieve. Now we could dig out this entire area here, and we'll probably find some more other bits and pieces. What I do want is these, and we're a bit closer now. These antennas are a good source of general electronics and stuff as well. I mean, we're probably, if I dug down here, we'll probably find some small other bits of loot, but I think that's probably enough for this part. So what we'll do is need to find my Corey thing. Oh, there's some antennas up there, certainly, and of course there's a turret here. Oops. Certainly take the turret. There's the ammo box that we found. Trouble with the minigun turret is you don't know whether it'd actually be on the... What I tend to do is scrap these, simply because you don't know whether they actually would fit on a capital vessel or a base. So it's... because that's one of the problems. This might be a crash capital vessel or listed as a crash capital vessel, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there. Also, I've just seen something over there I want to go and check out, but I'm going to do it with the SV. Just go that way. If it's what I think it is, we'll be okay. Because what you do is there's no wood or anything on this planet, so but you can get the pentaxid just by collecting all these nodules. Yeah, it is what I think it is. Now, this planet has these random skulls on, and what you've got to do is kind of line up very carefully. It's with there's a hole in the side. Let me just see, like an eye. It used to be. Maybe it's on this side. What do we just? There it is there. And what you need to do is just... This is why I've brought the SV, so I can maneuver in close. Oh, come on, game. They used to put bolts in here. Let's just see. Oh, they've taken them out. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Me being thick. Look at this, see. Well, we'll certainly take the ammo. And of course the force field here as well. Let me just get this. Oops, we'll have to put this into the silver shade light. Now, again, if I just show you the force fields, I don't know where they are. Are they under miscellaneous or Here's the force fields. Again, you see here, if you drop these into the workshop, you get higher output capacitor, energy regulators, advanced electronics. So again, the force fields are a good thing to just drop into the what we call it, into the force fields are a good thing when you're collecting resources to build a workshop thingy bob. Oh, what's up with me? And again, I mean, all these little blue things, we're all quite familiar with them. You only get one, but it's good enough. And we'll just come in here. And so I'll be completely honest, the barren planet is one of my favourite starts. It's also one of my favourite planets to explore because it appears empty, and I've known players who will say, "Ah, well, I'm not going to go there because there's nothing there," but there's a lot more on this planet than meets the eye. And I'm repeating myself. Apologies. Right, so I think I've got time for maybe a couple more things, and then that would be it. So we've done that one. Checking out the couple of other ones. Unfinished escape rocket. Yes, we found it. Right, we're going to head for that. I don't know if it's the big one or the small one. There it is. This is the prize. What we're going to do is come in here. This is what you're looking for. If you ever do a barren planet start, this is very much what you are actually looking for. There's enough resources in here to build a complete CV. No, I'm upside down. Luckily, that's because we dropped in that depression. I'm trying to get the capital vessel in as close as possible because we're going to have to do a lot of looting. It's a little bit of a problematic in the sense that this isn't as flat as it should be, but I'd like to get it because we're in that depression. I just wonder if we could squeeze the capital vessel just on this up a bit, level it off a bit, over a bit, down a bit. There we are. Brilliant. Turn the thrusters off. Right. What I'm going to do is show you where the core is on this ship, because you need to core it. And I'm actually going to make a core for this, because this is a very important building to do. So what you want to do is actually make a core for this. You don't really want to use a salvage core on this, simply because you're going to spend a lot of time looting this, and you don't really want to commit your what we call it, your I still haven't repaired the SV. Actually, given that we're here, I might completely rebuild the SV as well, build a brand new SV. So the objective is going to be to leave here with both a new CV and a new SV, or completely rebuilt ones. Now, what you've got to do is, if you come up here, level off, what you're looking for is a gap in the top of the ship here, just in here, and you've got to go in fairly close, like that. Jump out, and you can see again we've got lots of medical station stuff. Now you want to be a bit careful, because what we're going to be shooting at is up there, and if I use the sniper rifle, maybe we can get a little bit past it. I think you can. Wait, just look. Okay. That's better. That's it. Haha. Gotcha. Just jump onto the here, onto here, back onto the ship. Now what you want to do is put the core, don't put the core at the top, put the core down here. So just come here. And also that one, I want this one. And then work down. And here we are, we've got control of this base. Now this is a gold mine, because if I come in here, what you'll find is that we've got 12 medium thrusters, we've got warp cores, we've got 2 warp cores, 2 pentaxid cores. These are CV cores, or they were. If we have a look at the oxygen size, if we just empty the oxygen out first, into the vessel, resources, general storage. Again, if you look at this, it's got 15,739 oxygen. It gives us 118 oxygen. Fuel, it gives us 26,885 fuel. So that is there. I don't think there's nothing in the pentaxid tanks. And that's not the end of the fuel, guys. Because if you come over to here, this is a big challenge to loot this place down, by the way. Remember which way in gotta go. Let me just think if we retrieve the blocks. Oh, these are concrete blocks. If you come in here, you've got 2 towers full of loot and fuel cells. If you come up here, and they go all the way up the building. So, and there's one on this side, and there's one on the other side. Also, if on top of these actual thrusters here, if we just retrieve this, there's a whole load of them in here as well, just to show you. So once you've looted this down, you're not going to have a fuel shortage. There's also lots of other bits of equipment and stuff in here. So we've got the 12 medium thrusters. Again, they're all CV compliant. And then of course down below, which it's probably be the best place to actually finish. And if we go below and down here, we'll just hook up to the ship again. That there. General storage, put that in there. Building supplies. The junk one is empty again, so come in here. Now if you come under here, and probably I'm on the wrong side, but that's okay. What you've got is a whole load of these things. So I'll put it all in junk so that you guys can see. Got hydrogen, water, more oxygen, even more oxygen. I say this is a brilliant start. Biofuel, got that there. Nutrient fluid, more oxygen. more hydrogen, sorry, not dihydrogen. Dihydrogen is No Man's Sky. And here's all the oxygen tanks, which we'll be taking apart. We've got fuel cells. Even more fuel cells. And going. That's that side. Then got some more on this side. Pick that up. Of course, you can't loot these from just by doing P and looking at the ones. These won't show up. So you've got to do them the long way round. Okay, we're going outside remote range, but that's okay. More nutrient fluid. So if we hadn't found the grow plots, we'd be getting the nutrient fluid to make grow plots. And we'll just... the water's good as well. More oxygen. More water. One thing you will be aware of is that you don't have a lot of food. Food is a little bit more rarer. So here we are, we're back onto this bit here. And if we come back over to here and come into here, and you can see we've got 8 fridges. I just want to pick up the fridges so that we don't lose the food, because the food's going to be quite important. I'm not going to do all that. I'll do all that lot off camera, guys, but I just want to pick up the fridges because the game can be a little bit odd with respect to food, especially if you've stolen all the power. So we got cereal, because of course there's no plant protein on here. See, also we've got a repair station here as well. I think that's all the fridges. Just double check. Ammo boxes. And you can see there's actually 62 loot boxes in here. Which could be, we got a harvest container, silicon in it. I will take that. Anyway, guys, I think you got the general idea. What I will do off camera is go through all those 62 loot boxes and take all that out and empty this. Then in the next part, where I'll probably either carry on exploring or just start to take this ship apart so that we can then start rebuilding our capital vessel. And of course, we've got a nice supply of thrusters. So until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.